One of these really terrific new young talents coming out of Boston. Let's welcome Blake Maddux.
Thank you very much for that. It's great to be here. Thank you, Rick. My name is Blake. I'm not from around here originally. I moved out here a few years ago. And I love hanging around Harvard Square. So many fascinating people, places, and things. One time over by the T, I saw a girl with a button on her backpack that said, "Think for yourself." So I went up behind her and I said, "Think for yourself, eh?" She said, "Yeah, that's right." And I said, "Okay, whatever you say." A lot of cool movie theaters in Harvard Square. I'm a bit of a movie buff. But I think over the years I've become numb to the emotional effects that movies can have. Like the last movie that made me cry was Philadelphia. Did you guys see that one? Yeah. I just thought it was so sad at the end when that law firm lost the case and had to pay that guy off. I guess I saw it coming, but that was tough. Yeah, what else? There's a place a couple doors down, a restaurant, a Harvard Square landmark, where if you've been there, you've noticed all the restaurant items are named after celebrities. Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about, yeah. For example, there's a sandwich called the Dennis Leary, which has no flavor at all. It's tasteless. And of course, there's the Michael Jackson, which is a 12-inch hot dog placed between a 6-inch bun. Give me a break. That's the only Michael Jackson joke I've ever done. Okay, I'm entitled to at least one. And I used to live a little closer to Harvard Square, and I would walk home at night. And I'd go past this store. I never went in it, but out front was a sign that said over 1,000 hard-to-find fragrances. And I would always see that and think it meant that the store was poorly organized. You know, like we have them, but good luck locating them. Apparently that's not what it means. My entire life I've done that. I've sort of misinterpreted things like that. When I was young, I thought a non-profit organization was one that needed to try harder. Advertise, get their name out a bit. And I always wondered, why do they always say, "We are a non-profit organization"? You know, they always amplify that. Do they want me to feel sorry for them or something? When I first went off to college, the first friend I made was this really sweet girl named Shelly. She was a psychology major. She said to me, "Blake, you have a type A personality." And I kind of laughed and said, "No, I don't think that's possible." And she goes, "Why? There's nothing wrong with having a type A personality." And I said, "I know, Shelly, but I've never been to the capital of Taiwan." Not bad. Yeah, so we weren't friends much longer after that, unfortunately. And I put off buying a DVD player for a long time, because I noticed DVDs themselves always said, "featuring deleted scenes." And I thought, well, that's kind of a rip-off, isn't it? Maybe not. But you have to admit, there are certain things we say a lot in the English language that we used to mean one thing, but seem to suggest something else by their words. There are a lot of cliches like that. And I hate the word cliche because it's such an overused way of describing a common expression. But it's the only word we got for it, unfortunately. So, the one that totally blows my mind is head over heels. I'll never understand that. It means you're excited, you're elated, you feel out of the ordinary in some way. I don't know about you guys, but my head is always over my heels. That's the way I was built. Shouldn't that expression mean that everything is exactly as it should be and I'm feeling perfectly normal? So next time someone comes up to you and asks you how you're doing, say, "I'm head over heels." And they say, "Really? Why?" And say, "That's the way I was built." Yeah. So anyway, my name is Blake Maddux. I started doing comedy a little over a year ago, and so far I'm loving every 5 to 7 minutes of it. I do have a CD available for purchase if anyone's interested to see me after the show. We'll work something out. Say a Van Halen CD from like 1995 or something. I don't really listen to it anymore. I also have a copy of my autobiography, which is called "Don't Let This Happen to You." I'm definitely a political junkie. I really like following current events, but I don't do a lot of comedy about politics or current events. But I do want to, mention our president and all these nonsense calls for impeachment. I mean, I detest the guy as much as anyone here, I promise. But we cannot impeach the man because he has not violated his oath of office, which says, and I quote, "I will, to the best of my ability, protect, preserve, and defend the Constitution." And join me if you're with me. I think he is doing it to the best of his ability. It doesn't say you have to do it well, just to the best of your ability. One time I bought a bottle of Sprite, and I didn't realize, but there was a tick inside of it. I drank it and I got lemon Lyme disease. First ever case of that. So I'm a trailblazer in that regard. But good things do happen to me, let me assure you. I've had some good luck on the relationship front lately, which is nice because I have a bad history with women. You know how you get those letters from credit card companies that say you've been pre-approved? I got them from dating services saying I've been pre-rejected. About a year and a half I was going out with this girl, and she came to me one day and said, Blake, I think it'd be a good idea for us to see other people. I'm like, oh, really? Well, why do you think that? And she said, because I've been doing it for several weeks. And it's going very well. So I guess I couldn't really argue with that. I couldn't really say, no, I don't think it is a good idea. Then after that, I went out twice with this girl who I met at a bar. And I only went out there twice because as early as that second date, she was trying to pressure me into something platonic. I didn't want to be rushed into something non-sexual so quickly. But all my life I've been hoping that one day I would meet a girl who loved me in spite of who I am. And that with patience, over time, that she'd never get to know the real me. So we'll see. Before I get off the stage here, I do want to mention that, last Sunday was Mother's Day. Any mothers here? Okay, I see. A couple weeks from now is Father's Day, and a quick show of hands here. How many of your parents have children? Yeah, sorry. Most of you then? Okay, good. Mine too. And I would not be the man who I am today were it not for my mom and dad. And if they were here right now, I know exactly what they do when they heard me say that. Same thing they always do. They take me aside, put their arms around me, pull me up against the wall, look me in the eye, and say, Blake, stop blaming us. All right, folks, that's my time. Back to Rick. Thanks a
If you like Blake, vote